Hi, today we are visiting one of my favorite shops in the city, Goods for the Study, full of stationery, full of pens. It is a regular delight of mine to stop whenever I'm passing by and see what's new, stock up on the things that I need that aren't new. Let's go inside. They have a great selection of greeting cards, and I am very honored because there's a very special one on the wall. My greeting card. This is my flourished fish, and it's letter pressed on 100% cotton paper. So if you need a greeting card, a single, you can come into any one of the Goods for the Studies and find Rajiv's card. This is the pen wall, which is a fabulous place to come and peruse. It's like being in a candy store with all these jars. You can test out the pens. The wonderful thing about this store is that they have very fancy pens, and then they have kind of pedestrian pens. And I have to admit that my favorite pen is one of the cheaper, more affordable fountain pens. It's this right here. It's the Lamy fountain pen. It's German, and I just love the way it writes. It also comes in different options from extra fine to broad. So there's extra fine, fine, normal, medium, and then broad, I believe. You can test all of those out when they have them in stock. Unfortunately, or fortunately, they're completely out of stock of Lamy pens because they're so popular. The great thing about these pens is that there is a selection of, it fills with a cartridge. So this is the ink in here. And the Lamy cartridges come in all different colors, which is so much fun. I usually just have black, but if I'm doing something special, I'll switch the cartridge to green or red to make notes. Lamy pens, my favorite fountain pen. It's about 30 bucks. And then these are $5.95. And there's 5 cartridges in here. This is the pencil section, which is also very extensive. What's great is that there are so many mechanical pencils to choose from, but also different colors of lead. Like, there's not just the one color of graphite. You can buy red or green lead that goes into your mechanical pencil, which I love. I use it on like sheet music. If I have to make a note, like a directional note from my teacher, I use the pencil with the red lead because it's very tiny and you can make lots of little notes on the sheet music. Very niche. You'll find your own use for red lead in a mechanical pencil, I'm sure. Stationery. There are various brands of stationery that you can choose from. I really love this Crown Mill stationery, not only for writing on with my fountain pen or my calligraphy pen, but for putting through my typewriter. And it comes in different sizes, which is what I like. Like, you can buy paper that's on the big block like this, but then there's also smaller pads like this. And I put both of these through my typewriter. It's very luxurious. And then the envelopes, like, there are multiple sizes of the envelopes, and it all comes in different colors. So there's the white, there's gray, there's cream, there's blue, there's pink. Love it. If you are looking for a notebook, be forewarned that you will come in here and be overwhelmed because there are so many notebooks to choose from. I love this brand. This is Binderwerk, which is from Germany. There are so many options for the interior and the exterior of these notebooks. Many of them are covered in linen, which is what I love. This is a linen covered notebook in so many different colors. And then there are all the options for the inside of the book. Books with blank pages, books with lined pages, books with dots, books with a square grid. When I lived in Munich, I lived very close to a little corner where they actually made these books. It was the Binderwerk studio, and that was my first discovery of it. I thought it was like a little handmade workshop where you could only get them there. I had no idea that you could get them all over the world. But I found the source. I found the source of the fountain. Continuing along in the notebook section, where, as I said, you'll be overwhelmed, if you like Moleskine notebooks, and I love Moleskine notebooks, they have everything here. Like every kind of Moleskine notebook you can imagine, they have here. And I use like the different kinds of Moleskines for different things. So for example, these cahiers are the soft cover thin notebooks, and they're sold as a 3-pack. And I like these because when I'm traveling, especially if I'm traveling like to another city for 3 or 4 days, I don't want to carry my big journal with me. So I have a travel notebook, which is my travel journal, and it's usually one of these. And I'm going to reveal my compulsiveness, is I use like different colors for different things. So I only use the green for journaling. I use the craft colored ones for ideas and like sketching, and I do this so that it's very discernible which book is for what. Like if I'm just grabbing the notebook out of my closet because I'm going on a trip, I know that if I grab the green one, it's my journal. Anyways, the fact that all these options exist make that neuroses possible. I love it. The other thing about Moleskine journals that I love is that they really think of all the different uses, and they try to specify the paper to those uses. So there are sketchbooks with different paper for sketching. They even have watercolor sketchbooks for watercolor painting. Look at this. This is something that I love. They have notebooks that have music paper on the inside. So I've been taking music theory classes for the last couple of years, and to take notes, often the teacher is writing on the board on the staff, and you have to copy that down. And in the beginning I was drawing out the staff, and then I discovered these, and it was a game changer because I could just quickly take my notes on the staff in the book, and then all of my music notes were in one place. Thank you, Moleskine, for thinking of that. People like me love the fact that this exists. Part of what I love about this store is that there are all levels of merchandise, especially in terms of price point. So there is the very accessible stuff, but then they have beautiful examples of fine stationery. Like in this case here, they have leather journals that have marbled edges that have all been done by hand. And every now and then I've asked to look at some of the stuff in here, and I've purchased a couple of things. and I have to say that like some of the things from this case have been my favorite brands that I've discovered just from asking them to open up the case. So don't be intimidated. Like if you come in, just ask to look at it. That's how you get a sense of different papers and different leathers and different covers, and you figure out what you really like. And maybe it will be out of your price range, but it's very good to at least know what exists aspirationally. My favorite paper for wrapping gifts, especially like a very fancy gift, is this paper right here. The brand is called Cavallini, and there's all sorts of fun prints that have been pulled from historic archives, historic sources. one of my favorite papers, especially if I'm gifting something to someone who's visiting me in New York, is this right here, which is, I don't want to pull it out completely and disturb it, but it's an old map of New York, and every single street is on here. So I love this. And usually what I'll do, if I really want to be extremely detailed, and I've done this multiple times, let's say I'm meeting someone for dinner and I'm giving them their birthday gift, and we're meeting at a certain place, I will pick the part of this map where we are going to be for dinner. And I'll center that on the front of the gift. And then I'll point that out to them after they open it up. I'm like, we're right here, right now. It's a tiny detail, but it adds this beautiful element to the event of giving the gift to someone, and they're very touched, usually. Always, always. Goods for the study, my favorite stationery store here in New York. There are a few locations, so if you like pens, you like paper, or you're just intrigued by either of those things, whether you live here in the city or you're just visiting, find the location that's nearest you and check it out. You will not be disappointed.